Hey, how you doing? So today I've heard some unbelievably what I thought was great news. The population collapse is coming. That's amazing. You know, since all of us have been alive, I mean, we've been on a crash course in terms of population. The Earth can't sustain this many people, and we're basically, poisoning the environment. Where does all this garbage go? It's a complete disaster. And if this is true, the population, that would be amazing good news. Now, what's going to happen is, if it's true, and it's certainly probably true in certain countries, like Japan and uh, maybe the United States, but you can hear a lot of yelling about how bad it is, how it's a catastrophe. It's going to ruin all sorts of things. It's not. Okay, there'll be problems. Okay, but when I'm 61. When I was the population on the planet's tripled since I've been alive, and that's insane. So it was much nicer when I was little. There weren't. It's just the Earth ideally probably shouldn't have more than maybe a billion people. At the most, be much nicer. So I now in terms of what caused this, I don't really know exactly, but I mean, part of it, could relate to just life with the internet, people being, and not dealing with other people in real life as much. Um, you know, it's likely that COVID had something to do with it. Maybe the shots they're giving people. I've noticed that people's behavior in the last couple of years has changed. You could really see it, in the supermarket. Uh, there's a lot more people who, when I go through the supermarket, like they have their basket in the middle of the aisle and they don't like move it until you ask them. I mean, you used to deal with that somewhat, but now it seems like more. And yeah, it could be whatever other things, but uh, all I can tell you is overall, you should be beyond thrilled. Ignore what these people are telling you that it's bad. It's not bad. I mean, it will be bad in certain respects, but it's a lot better than the alternative, of mankind, basically just disappearing. And maybe the super rich would survive, or the super strong. Who knows what? They would go to different planets. I don't know. So it also may not be real. I mean, basically, it's pretty hard to get the population of the world to really start declining, and there are certain countries, like in Africa, where I mean, and even in South America, people just having zillions of children. So I don't know if this is really true in terms of the whole world's population. I do believe that certain countries it is. Um, and so I think that generally you should be pretty excited about this. I mean, the news media is always trying to get you to believe that more is better and bigger is better, and particularly, when you live in an economy that, depends on things like the stock market, they depend on more people because, that's what, if there's more people, they buy more. But, what's happening is these, things like pollution are becoming more and more important, and which are making it harder for for economies to do well. Global warming. You know, I mean, I would assume that if the depopulation is a real thing and it's really dramatic, it's going to have a significant impact on helping with global warming, a big impact. Uh, and I don't know, but I mean, it, I mean, global warming is very scary. I mean, if what they're saying, yeah, you have to assume that government, they're not generally in the business, particularly when people get elected, of scaring their population, with things like global warming, because people want to get reelected. So you tend to find out about these things at the last moment, kind of right before they're catastrophic. Um, and there's a very good chance, if you're a younger person now, or if you're born now, it's gonna have a huge impact on you. Where you're gonna see things that you could have never thought in your life. The whole planet could change. So, ideally, if you were like king of the world and you could control things, what would you try to? What would you like to do? Probably you'd want to do something that, in a humane way, reduce the population. So this is fantastic news. So anyway, that's all I can think of to say. I'm sure I forgot a lot of things, but let me know your thoughts below.